Alright, I am going to admit I have tried for the last hour and a half or so to get my live stream to work, and OBS is not working at all. It was working last week. This week it doesn't even recognize my camera. I have tried different capture cards, all kinds of stuff. Nothing is working. I'm infuriated because I can't seem to get it to work. But we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to draw and have fun. And we are going to finish Horus because I made a promise I would. And here we go. Ow! Oh, I forgot this camera's here. So this is a very difficult setup because I'm in an awkward position to draw this. I don't know if I'm in my camera or not, but we're just gonna have to do it. So hold on, I wanna have Horus start here. Let his legs be probably, and then his hip is here. I just want to make this like old school statue, like his hieroglyphic of the one that's like painted on the walls. Trying to replicate it. Kind of difficult when I can't really see. Yeah. I don't think I explained the Eye of Horus last time. The Eye of Horus was because Horus got his eye plucked out, got it jacked up. Represent the Eye of Horus. Where's it? He got it fixed. I don't remember. I wanted to start drawing this morning and doing live stream, but since I can't get it to work, I figured I couldn't do it later today. But then I just spent all my time trying to figure out how to do it and got nothing accomplished, which is absolutely frustrating. If you know what I'm talking about, you get it. As well as my light's probably not set up well enough. Let's move it over here a little bit brighter. Horus is a pretty complicated looking Egyptian god. Falcon. Birds are never easy for me. I actually follow a artist that is a bird ink artist. He is very good. He does a phenomenal job of creating beautiful ink artworks of birds in different creative poses and doing different things. It's really cool. I forget the name of his channel, plus I don't know if it's appropriate for me to, give shout outs anymore. It used to be a thing back in YouTube when I first started, but then nowadays I don't ever hear about shout outs unless people are ripping on each other. I'm not a fan of really ripping on somebody. If I don't know them and all of that, I just don't know. I don't like it. I think it's better to uplift people, whether you don't like them or not. I was very pleased and very happy today, actually, because I got a comment on my recent video of Horus Livestream. Someone commented that they enjoyed it, and they started their own, starting to draw their own creatures and characters, which is really cool. I like that. Creatures are always fun to draw. If you're a creature artist, your mind is always stretching towards the fantastic, right? The absolutely unique and creative process of developing something both different from modern monsters and creatures, as well as staying within the bounds of the natural, right? Because Horus could be a creature, I suppose, but he's just a normal warrior with a falcon head or bird's head. Yeah, so it's really cool. I was very happy. Like, it was very encouraging. I don't get very many comments that are on my videos, so when I do get one, it always worries me because I'm like, oh boy, are they going to tell me I got something wrong, or I can do better, or maybe I got my history wrong, which is one of the worst, because I try to study my history, I try to remember it as much as possible, but some stuff I just don't remember on the spot when I'm trying to make these videos, and especially live stream. I definitely can't remember anything. I have to go back and research and figure out, like, well, how old was Horus? I have no idea. No. And what was his weapon? What did he do? I only remember him having, he has a cane, or a staff. He has this little cross, which, see, I can't even remember the name of the cross. It's like not a Coptic cross. This cross, you know what I'm talking about, right here. That thing. Oh, and this is what I'm taking the reference of to create right here. You saw this in my video in the intro video. I showed a small clip of my travels to Egypt when I was a young man, a young lad. Back then I was much more brave and courageous, and I'm just going to kind of talk about that a little bit today, a little bit more, because I think it's important for people to travel around the world, and especially artists, to really push themselves a little bit further in the exploration, because one, as artists, we are always trying to make our art better. We're always trying to explore the world to see what we can draw and learn more things. I think we are, but I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just me, maybe. But in Egypt was one of those things that we have one of the most ancient arts and hieroglyphics, and in our history, it's beautiful, and the world cherishes Egypt because of its unique. Oh man, his hand's gonna disappear. Oh well. I just have to make the staff. Well, it saves me from drawing a hand, which I think everyone will agree that that's always a good thing. So the staff comes up here. It has this little bow. I think it's the head of a serpent or something. I don't know. Which kind of reminds me of like the staff, which is, I'm really excited to do the Bible, because the Bible has so much fantasy to it, and so many cool stories, like Moses' staff that turns into a snake, and the burning bush, and all these, like, he takes the staff and slams it into a rock, and water gushes out and feeds, thousands of Israelite slaves or people when they're like complaining about not having water. Which, if you know anything about the Bible, Israelites are the biggest complainers ever. And they don't seem to learn the lesson very well. So, the Bible's really cool because the Bible has wars and it has it all. It has, you know, romance and sacrifices and gods and magic and demons and angels and Nephilim. It has the stars and the moons and the sun stopping, you know. It talks about people floating up into the sky and disappearing. It has all kinds of stuff. But even more so, Egyptian mythology and stories are a mix between, I feel like, the Greek gods mixed with the Israelite gods mixed with the pure imagination of the Egyptians studying their surroundings, because a lot of their gods are based off of animals and creatures, and it's great because when you think of that, you're actually looking at the world from a perspective of saying, I don't know what the world's got, what it is all about. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to take what I see as powerful and strong, which is the falcon here, and or Anubis or Osiris, and all these different heads, like a dog head and a cat head, and you know, they're the protectors of the underworld. And I mean, who would think of these things unless you were looking at it and going and making relations, like you saw a cat be near the graveyard. Maybe you think, oh, well, if that's the case, then maybe these guys are actually good guys. Or maybe the dogs are the good guys. Who knows? Maybe they're the bad guys. Depending on, like, if maybe someone got bit. Maybe an Egyptian pharaoh got bit by a dog and was, you know, angry. And, or... I think the dog one is actually... I don't know. I can't think right now. I haven't slept in some time. I spent all morning trying to work on my game, which is very fun, but there's a need for sleep that I'm not getting. I really apologize. This video is just for me having fun to draw. I promise I'd do a live stream. I couldn't get the live stream up. Very sad. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes to an hour drawing, finishing up this piece, and yeah, just having fun. I'm doing this for you guys and gals and everything in between, you know. Oh, as for the adventure you saw in the beginning of the video, that was 2003, 4, 5, I don't know. I had that. The only way I can figure that out is either A, study some of the scenes and see if I can see a date on anything, which I don't think I'll be able to see, or maybe I posted it on Facebook at one point right after I came back, which I don't think I did, because I wasn't really a Facebook kind of guy. But what I can say is I can research. There was a terrorist attack right the day I left, and thank goodness I left. I was going to stay an extra day, but something told me to leave a day early, and I was like, sure, why not? And so, which I did, and then right when I arrived, I saw there was a bombing at the shopping area that I was going to go shop at. So thank goodness I didn't go shopping there, because I would be in pieces. A few foreigners lost their lives that day, I think. And it's very sad. This was during the Gaza time, Gaza Strip issues, which they always have issues. Like right now, they're having issues. But I think I was 22 or 3 years old when I went. I'm very blessed to have gone when I did. Got to go to the museums and the art galleries, and all the beautiful things of Egypt was shared with me without. Now there's a lot more tension, I think. I feel there's tension then, but as you can see, I climbed the pyramids and I could get away with that. I could excavate some tombs on my own. I could, if you just had the money, you could pay the guy to just pull over his boat and say, "Hey, I see a tomb over there. Can I go see it?" And they'll be like, "Well, no." But then you'd be like, "Well, can I see it for $75?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, of course." So, I just paid off a lot of people, honestly, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't recommend doing that now. I don't know how it would be. I remember at the tomb of Valley of the Kings, I took a photo and the flash went off, and they were not happy about that. They told me they took my camera and confiscated it, and these guys with these machine guns were, intimidating, because no, I don't see machine guns in Texas all the time and stuff at that point. But I also was not going to lose my camera because all my footage was on that camera. Without that, then I didn't have a journey I could remember and document, right? So I pretty much went to their main headquarters off the police station area that they took it, and I was like, "Hey," and I demanded it back, and he was like, "No, you can't just have it because you're an American." I'm like, "I don't care if it's because I'm American. I care because that's my mom's camera." And it was enough for him to. Eventually, he just didn't want to deal with me because I was just yelling at him. I was like, "Dude, the flash doesn't do anything to the colors in the pyramid. I don't care what you say. Light doesn't do that without heat and maybe an extreme amount of UV light, maybe. But that's just wild. That's just absolutely absurd. I've never, in all my studies, don't see that. And I think it was disproven that it doesn't do anything, but I don't know. I just didn't believe it at the time, and I fought for it, and I've got my camera back. A little bit scary, but much scarier things I've been through. So. Cairo is an amazing city. There's a lot to it. The pyramids are not just sitting in the desert. They are literally right beside the city, so it's not the most beautiful angle if you're looking from one direction. It is better to, the shots that I did show, I'll show later more footage of it, that they just sit there. I mean, they're a tourist attraction, so you just got tons of tourists. Luckily, the people, when I went there wasn't that many tourists. I did have some friends show me around that were from that area. There's these girls that were living there doing mission work, and they were kind enough to kind of speak a little bit of Arabic that I didn't know. I had studied enough to get around, but not enough to... Am I blocking? I'm going to pause and see if I'm blocking. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I am just blocking y'all's vision. Alright, so his right hand is not too close to his butt. You gotta move it. And the reason why is because he needs to be holding the cross, and the cross is separated from his hip. I don't want to three-dimensionally put it in front of his hip or his thigh. You can see here that it's there, and the reason why it's there is so that the viewer knows that the symbol is just hanging about. So I'm going to move his hand over just ever so slightly. And pull up, and then, yeah, there we go. Horus has a really cool outfit. You can tell that he's decked out with gold and the best of outfits. I mean, this outfit he's wearing is meant for a god, for sure. It is unique, it is decorative, it is complex. Right? Most of the time when you see Egyptian outfits on the hieroglyphics and other other paintings and stuff, only the pharaohs have a really highly decorated thing. But most of the people that are drawn out, like the women and men and slaves and all this stuff, they are pretty much bare naked almost, or have a skirt. You know, that's it. The sorry. So for the pharaohs, you know, their royal clothing was particularly cat nims and crowns. They wore animal skins and all that kind of stuff. But they, you know, there was also linen was very popular back then. Animal fibers. I guess we know quite a lot because we've dug up so much of the Egyptian sarcophaguses and stuff like that, that we should be able to see a pretty good amount of clothes that we can tell. Now, this one is the final circular rounding. Oh, didn't I mess that up? Alright. I'm going to go in here and erase all these because I need actually much more in there. So now that his butt is really pronounced, so let's fix that butt. Alright, so what we're going to do is draw the final line here. Okay. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I drew circles there because that's the easiest way for me to see. So 1, 2, 3. If you've been to Egypt, I'd like to know. You know, put your comment on it down below in the comment section and let me know where you've been, what you think of it, what you like, what's your favorite art. Did you have any really cool stories to tell from it? I think if you have, you probably would. I enjoy Egypt. Luxor was amazing. Thebes. But not so much Cairo. That was just a lot of hustling. I'm not a big fan of hustling. People trying to sell you everything and con you every way around it. They're all conning you. Oh, come and get this perfume. Oh, you're American. Where are you from in America? You don't care where I'm from in America. You don't give a flying hoot. You just want me to come into your store so you can trap me and say, well, it's not polite for you to leave without purchasing something. Oh, well then I wouldn't have came inside if it was impolite. It would have been impolite with you outside then. In which I did tell somebody. Yeah, because he made me buy some cheap oil. Whatever. So when you go to Egypt, just be careful. I don't know if it's the same way as it is. I think I mentioned this in the last video, probably. I do remember that the moon in Egypt was so big. I had never seen anything so large in my life. It was just, it looked like a mountain in the backdrop of the horizon as it went down. I could easily see how they would think of something mystical of that and worship it and cherish the moon. The Egyptians were smart. They knew astrology and probably a lot more cosmology than we know now. What's interesting about the pyramids, I was climbing it, and you could see from some of the fractures in the rock of it that the stone had sea, like ocean creatures in it, like little shells and stuff. So they had obviously had to have brought it from somewhere with water because you had these little seashells embedded into it. Yeah, it was very, very, very cool. In fact, when we got to the bottom, there were pieces everywhere. They was broken off because they're weathered. These pyramids are weathered heavily, and all these rocks and they all crumble off and through the storms and stuff like that. And not from those pyramids, but from, well, actually I don't even know if it's from a pyramid, but just the rocks that are on the ground. I was able to grab a rock from the ground of nearby, and they let me have it, so that was great. It's weird to think that you can't, like some countries don't let you take like rocks from the ground or whatever, but in Hawaii they wouldn't let you take sands from the black sands because they say it's cursed. Many people did it because it's black sand. You don't get to see black sand every day, and they even had green sand, which was even cooler because the green sand is just awesome. But to the country, they just don't like you taking their sand or their land, I guess you would say. Especially as tourists, because most tourists just don't respect it. The piece of stone that I did take, that was off the ground, I kept it nice, and I've cherished it because it's something that means a lot to me. And here's a piece. I figured I'd show you guys, and you can see right there. That's what I mean. You see that? It's brilliant. It just smells like stone. And I love archaeology. I'm a big fan of excavating and digging and discovering. I'm still looking for dinosaur bones, but you can see that there are small, itty bitty fragments of like grass and some kind of fiber. Maybe it's animal fiber in here. I don't want to break this because it's fragile. I could probably break it and you'd probably see more. But you can see the layers of stone. And, this I would imagine is probably somewhere around 5,000 years old, 4,000. I mean, longer since it's stone, right? Stone's been around probably longer than that. But for the construction of it, it has to be at least 4,000 years old, I guess. I don't know. I need to get it tested, though. You guys are the first to actually see that. I'm not too worried about anybody being angry because it's a rock. It's a rock from Egypt, not just, it might not be from anything, but it's just a stone. And the way I see it, if it's a stone, then it's been traveled, and obviously that has traveled since it has, that's why I grabbed it, because it has like this ocean. It even had, it smelled like it at the time. Yeah, I very highly doubt they care about one piece of rock that has no meaning. What are they gonna do? Go and throw it in the sand and let it be lost forever? But I don't recommend you just taking rocks off the ground or from places or anything. I highly, highly, highly go against people vandalizing places and stuff like trees. People who vandalize trees, so selfish and so childish, honestly. Like writing their names on trees and stuff like that, carving their names. And then they do. I went to Egypt and they did it. This is a cool book I got because I wanted to learn creature development, and this goes alongside of developing mystical creatures, especially ones I haven't been seen. So when I reach the Bible stuff that I'm drawing, a lot of the angels and Nephilim and things like this are going to be vastly different than what most people think of angels. Because most of the time, angels are described pretty horrifically, but because of the persuasion of the Christian faith and stuff, they have developed a weird wing-like human that's beautiful with, armor, which makes no sense at all. But it's just, that's how they built culture, and that's why we believe it. But it's not accurate to the actual Bible. So, but you see here these creatures right here, the Sphinx. See, Egypt right there. Head of a human, body of a lion, wings of I don't know. It's creepy. But the artist was trying to explain some of these things, these mythical things. And see, even the teeth are more of a fang-like creature. Heels, cat-like creature. Mermaids, sirens. Ain't that something? So yeah, if you're looking to build out more of your creature structure and you're not afraid to dig into actual anatomy, this is a fantastic book, The Resurrectionist. Very good book. Got the legs drawn. Okay. The kneecap, and then it's got a nice thick thigh, thick calf, which I need to clean up there. There you go. And then we will do this. So this is Horus, the hieroglyphic, right? Staff should come down. You're not gonna see it. Oh, I'm forgetting the most important part. Okay, so this is the Ankh symbol. Ankh, Ankh, A-N-K-H, I think it is. Meant for the transition to the afterlife. Placed on the lips of the dead. What does this little symbol mean? Well, it was mainly the symbol of life and immortality. And it could also be translated into like the symbol for masculinity, femininity, joy, fertility, all that kind of stuff. Fertility in life is very big in the Egyptian world. Well, in most cultures, actually. In most cultures, you'll find that the gods are often able to be the god of fertility, and why that is usually different each country. But I believe through my studies that it's based off of the fact when someone does have a child and survives it, and a new person is born, it's such a miraculous thing, especially for the ancient days when they didn't understand it, that it was, there needed, you felt like a god had done such a beautiful thing for you by bringing a child into this world or letting you survive childbirth. Or having children was very difficult too. So even being able to have a child, having a god give you that child, means a lot. Okay, so now that's that. Now I'm going to draw an actual bird. And I think a bird head here would be good if it was a realistic style. Just really want the eyes. Don't want to worry so much about the rest of the beak. Kind of. I love how birds have this really serious look on their face all the time. Like they're ready to fight. They're ferocious creatures. But also very sweet too. And funny. Creative. I mean, diligent too. If you've ever seen anything of planet Earth, just watch Planet Earth with David Attenborough as he explains and shows like birds and how they dance and play and try to mate and do all these fancy things. There's one bird that cleans up its house and builds a home and tidies it up and makes a nice yard, nice little nest, and it's like a little house with the front lawn. And he decorates it so that a female will be like, hey, you got things pulled together, you got things together, kind of like in the human world, right? Women prefer a man to have his stuff together, as well as be clean and tidy. No one wants to be dating a hobo, right? I look like one sometimes, just laying out of bed and just don't care, but the truth of the matter is that everyone likes someone who's clean and well taken care of, or takes care of themselves really well. And that's kind of what the bird's doing. It's saying, like, are you a good match? Are you impressing me with your cleanliness and stuff? And it works. One bird dances and it fans out its wings with a beautiful array of blue and black, and it just hops around all goofy looking. And the female just looks at it like, well, I don't know if I'm really intrigued. That's a lot of work. It must be. And that's also, there's this one on the newest Planet Earth, I think season 3 of it. There is this row of birds, little birds that will on a limb, and there's the female on one side, and there's like 4 birds here, and this one who's closest will try to do like some dance or something to impress it, but if it doesn't work, it'll go to the back of the line and give the chance for the second one. And if that one doesn't work, they'll keep on doing that until this female is like, okay, one of you guys did the best, and I judge you as good. I mean, that's just fantastic. I'd rather go see a movie sometime than just rather see Planet Earth stuff because they're just the shots that they get and the storytelling that they tell is not only factual, it's actually not, it's not a lie, which is amazing because most of the stories we go, nearly all the stories we go see in the movie theaters are fantasy, right? Or someone wrote the script. You can't write a script for a bird. Yeah, get me? Um, Very cool. And if I had any other job than being an artist, it would be a photographer or videographer for Nat Geo. I wish they would hire me just to go draw these things, like go sit out there, because I think with pencil and ink you can get a lot more than a photo can. I mean, a photo can get the full detail of it, but you know, the pencil and ink will never go away because it tells more of a story through creative develop or actions, and you can bring out colors that the camera can't see. You can draw. What was that? Sound like a fly just came in. I think I'm going to do, once I get the live stream up and ready again and working, I want to do more of a um, talk about the adventures and talk about the art on a more to my face. I think it's hard for people to connect with me since you don't see my face in these videos, and I don't like to do that. I don't want to show my face. Honestly, I'm trying to avoid that with all cost because I hate being on camera. I'm self-conscious about like, oh man, did I comb my hair or do something? Especially if it's live. Oh my goodness, it'd be even worse. But I think I need to do it in order to bring out content that I feel is important to our culture today, right? Um, I don't think people are. I don't think there's enough people talking about the topics that need to be talked about in a good, fashionable way. They're usually doing it in a negative tone, or they're just afraid of being canceled because of the content that they're talking about. And I don't want. I want to kind of break that chain for YouTube and people and give a reason for people to believe in people again. An example would be like topics of depression or loneliness as an artist, or even suicide and stuff like that. Like how people would get to that point. And I know a lot of artists that are struggle with that kind of stuff because uh, they live in their mind, right? And I live in my mind, and I want to really talk to people about it and really encourage them that life is so much more than what they are experiencing at the moment. And it took me a long time to figure out a lot of that. And I don't know if YouTube will allow me to talk about it or not. But I'm going to definitely try. I think if Mr. Rogers was able to do it, I think I should be able to try as well. Because I have quite the adventures, as you see. Been everywhere from Egypt to North Korea to the Amazon to Philippines, Indonesia, all over Asia, Japan, and Spain, and I haven't been to the lower parts of Africa or most of Africa. I haven't been to a lot of European countries, and I haven't been to Australia. But we're getting there. We are getting there, and hopefully, I can share my experiences with everyone. Let me know if you think that's something you would want to hear about, or if you think that's something cool, or if I should just stick to just drawing and not talking. Which is also valid. I'm not a fan of my voice either. But yeah, so let's go ahead and draw that beak. Even though you can't really, even though you can't see it very well, I think it's kind of important. Try. So there is the falcon. Kind of looks like a pigeon a little bit. Need to make him more angry, that's why. And it kind of looks like the Eye of Horus, right? If you see like this and this. And then of course he has some shadows, which would make up the circle. That's probably where they get it from. Because under certain lights, I don't know where they get this one from though. I guess there's a little bit of a hint of a shadow here, but it doesn't go as far as another one. So, now that I'm done with the penciling, here it is. The final thing I'm going to do is just design this. I'm not trying to, this one is my own personal design of his wardrobe here. I'm just doing these lines kind of like that, but I'm pulling them down. I'm not making the curvature that way. I feel like it gives a better description of his high-class attire. Egypt has really good food, if you like that kind of food. But if you're looking for burgers and pizza, they have that too, but why eat that stuff in a country like that? You should be using your hands, you should be eating like the locals, you should be eating where the locals eat. Make sure you bring stomach medicine because, you know, it's rough food for especially Americans aren't used to that kind of food. You might want to bring some Pepto. I actually didn't get sick from the Egyptian food. I got sick from airplane food. Probably United Airlines. United is not my favorite airline. How about that? I don't think they should be in business, honestly. Because every time I go there, I get sick from their food. Don't order their eggs. Don't order their fish. Go for something fully cooked and fully done. Oh yeah, this was supposed to be on this side. So, good thing I stopped there. I'm gonna do this into the lines. But I do plan on going back to Egypt. I think I still have some of them on Facebook. I don't know. I think I should contact them though, because see how they're doing. I think one of them moved out of Egypt, and who knows where he's at. But what wonderful people they are. Just really enjoying those guys. I'm gonna see how him and his family are doing. so here I need to fix some of this. And then since the skin is kind of feathery, keep on hitting the camera. I hope that works. We're almost done here. That's because I want to post this up tonight and stay on top of posting once a day during the weekdays. If this was live stream, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but it seems like live stream is dead because my computer doesn't seem to like my camera. Or any camera, it doesn't even recognize I have it. I don't understand. I wonder if I did an update and it just messed it all up. But it definitely screwed up my schedule. So I gotta figure out to do something. Now my second camera accidentally broke the HDMI cable inside the camera, which is ridiculous. So hopefully tomorrow it'll come. The new cable will come in, and I can start back up on this live stream if it works. It's recognized by OBS. Mm-hmm. Alright, so I was going to draw the eye in black and then do like a little shiny thing, but I think I like the white. It's great. We can give some shadows to his fingers. And then what we're going to do is write Horus in a very nice way. Oh, that's one thing I did forget. I did forget the symbol. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and develop my own because it seems like the internet doesn't want to give me my answer. So we're going to do... So we'll do a line here, line here. feel like this is a very detailed version of a hieroglyph. I don't think it should be this simple. I mean, this did it complex. It should be much simpler. But we're already here. We're already doing it. So let's finish it. I think this little mark doesn't need to be there. And obviously, Horus's eye doesn't need to be there, or the falcon eye doesn't. Falcon hieroglyph. Okay. And I could do the Eye of Horus in pen, just in one try. I think I can do it. I hope. And there. So now you have the Eye of Horus. I just have to fill it in. You know what I realized was a lot of people who get these art pieces and they get tattoos of like Chinese lettering or Japanese lettering or Egyptian hieroglyphics, and they don't understand what it means. It's kind of like a foreigner coming to America and getting a tattoo of like I don't know. What's very American that's kind of ridiculous. Like the word, getting like a word in English with American, like howdy, or hey y'all, or something very Texan maybe even, and thinking that's like a very unique thing, but then just doesn't really mean anything, and people are like, so you have a hello, you just have a word that says hello on you, or yeah. But maybe it works. Yeah, I would never do tattoos because I just don't like needles, but I draw tattoos. I mean, I'm working on that one for my brother, the Spartan. And to finish off the signature. And that's it, guys. That's it for the drawing of Horus, my depiction of him. And I hope you enjoyed it. This is the peregrine, an actual bird sketch. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It will definitely help me a lot. As well as drawing this Horus here as he's depicted in Egypt. And my version, of course, is very cool with some action-packed Horus fighting. But I hope this was entertaining to you as well as it was somewhat educational. And yeah, if you have any more Egyptian gods you would like for me to draw, just let me know. Leave some in the comments, and I will see you guys again. And don't forget that you guys are unique, you're amazing, and fantastic creators. Have a beautiful week.